Appreciate that. We're good? Okay. It is 6:30 p.m. and I will go ahead and call this meeting to order. Paula, if you can go ahead and take care of our roll call, please.
District 2 Alderman David Emery.
I'm here.
District 4 Alderman Michael Rodriguez.
Here.
District 5 Alderman Matthew Martinez.
Here.
District 1 and 2 Alderman Miguel Aguirre and Richard Hughes are absent.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you can please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to item number 4. Zach, see if we have anybody signed up. This is Citizens to be Heard. This is the opportunity for citizens, visitors, and guests to address the City Council on any issue or any item on the agenda in compliance with LGC Section 551.007. City Council may not discuss any presented issue, nor may any action be taken on any issue at this time. Citizens to be heard are limited to 3 minutes each. Attorney General Opinion JC 0169. Don't have anybody? Okay, I'll still do the courtesy. Do we have anybody that would like to go ahead and provide comments? Going once, going twice. All right, we're going to go ahead. If you can show no comments, Paula. Appreciate that. And we will go ahead and move on to item number 5. This is consent agenda. Consider the approval of the minutes, and we're looking at January the 27th of 2025.
Mayor, I see some corrections right away we need to make.
Okay,
And the roll call last meeting, Alderman Miguel Aguirre was not here.
thank you.
Mayor, I'd like to start by making a motion to approve the meeting minutes as presented with the amendment
Okay,
for January the 27th, 2025.
thank you.
Second.
Second it? Okay. Any further discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move on to B, the consideration of approval of the payment of the bills.
Mayor, I'd like to start by making a motion to approve the payments of the bills as presented.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Got a second? Okay. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I have a quick question on the Purdue, Brandon, Filler, Collins, and Mott. The warrant fees, what is that?
Like they're outside collections, another attorney service who work for collections for the.
And we paid that amount.
We pay a
Okay.
percentage of the amount that they collect. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
You seconded it?
All yeas. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to presentation. And we'll go ahead and take care of Sam. Nope. Okay, we'll take care of her at a later point. So we'll go ahead and do the first one. And let me go ahead and take care of Brian. Come on up, sir. Come on up. Okay, council, we get an opportunity to go ahead and recognize one of our firefighters that actually took care of us. As you all aware, we actually had the railroad crossing work that was happening last week. One of the critical portions of it was actually taking care of coal mine. Because in coal mine, there's only one way in and one way out. So we came up with a plan and we asked for us to get the PD support, and it was great being able to take care of that. But along with that, we came up with the idea of having an EMT already inside and a firefighter inside with a brush truck, so we would be able to quickly respond without having to wait and be able to put a plate over the crossing to try to get an emergency vehicle. So Brian here started off a little bit before 9 o'clock, probably a little bit more than that. The project was supposed to be done by 2 o'clock. Well, the place was not opened up until 6:30. Okay? He never complained, never said anything. The only time that I had to actually impose on something is we were trying to cool down the asphalt because we had to get it to a certain temperature. And guess what? We had brush trucks, so we grabbed the hose and he went at it and wetted it down, and we were able to bring the temperature down just so we could go ahead and open the crossing. So Brian, without a doubt, not only taking care of those citizens, not asking for anything, stood and watched, made sure that everybody was taken care of, and then did a little bit more than beyond what was called for. So with that, the council would like to go ahead and recognize you for your dedicated contributions in the Coal Mine Railroad project. We really appreciate that. This is okay. So, okay, take a photo. Council, you come over here. And come on up. Matt, you gotta come up too. You're part of the.
I'll take a picture for the fire department. How about that?
Come on up. We're gonna take a photo. Come on. No. You gotta be in here. You gotta be in here. Let's take a photo real quick. Okay. All right. Oh, here we go. You're good. Just keep smiling. We're working it. All right. Any comments?
Yes, sir.
Anything? Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate that, okay? Thank you for coming down here too. Look forward to it. All right. Cool. Council will take care of the other individual in the future, but just teamwork all the way around. And it worked out really good. Our citizens were safe, even though we were having a little bit of time period that goes along with that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to item number 7. This is a public hearing. This is a conduct a public hearing concerning a preliminary plat of Saddle Ridge Estates Phase 3, a plot containing 17.570 acres out of a 27.635 acre tract of land recorded in document number 217149 of the official public records of Atascosa County, Texas, out of the Baumgartner Survey number 513, abstract 87 in the city of Lidle, Atascosa County, Texas. Paula, if you can actually go ahead and show us, we're opening the public hearing. It is 6:37 p.m. and we'll go ahead and open it up for any comments. Did we have anybody sign up? Any public comments? Going once, going twice. All right, and it is 6:38, so we can go ahead and show us closing the public comments. And please annotate no comments on the minutes. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to item number 8, open session, take action items, discuss. We actually have, did we have anybody sign up for either A or B? No. Okay. Council, just so we can kind of keep it, and I'll come back to here. Can we go ahead and, can I have a motion for us to take care of item C, since we just had the public hearing and we don't have any on the other two?
No, I'll make that motion.
Okay, got a motion. Can I have a second? Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of item C. Consideration and possible action concerning a preliminary plat of the Saddle Ridge Estates Phase 3, a plot containing 17.570 acres out of 27.63 acre tract of land recorded in document number 217149 of the official public records of Atascosa County, Texas, out of the Baumgartner Survey number 513, abstract 87 in the city of Lidle, Atascosa County, Texas. Okay, Zach?
Mayor and Council, just to kind of brief y'all real quickly on this. This is the last phase for preliminary plat review for Saddle Ridge. It is approximately 87 residential lots in 17.570 acres. TRC, as the engineer, reviewed, and it is in full compliance with our subdivision regulations. Planning and Zoning did unanimously also approve or recommend approval of the preliminary plat at their meeting last week. Last week.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched that meeting,
Yeah.
and most of the questions were answered.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and start by making a motion to approve the preliminary plot for Saddle Ridge Estate 3 a plot containing 17.570 acres out of a 27.635 acre tract of land recorded in document number 217149 of the official public records of Atascosa County, Texas, out of the Bunberger survey number 513, abstract 87, in the city of Lytle, Atascosa County, Texas.
Okay, thank you so much. Do I have a second? Okay, got a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. All right, council, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Zach, take care of business.
Yes,
Remember
sir.
to do that one. All right, council, let's go ahead and move back to 8A. And this is a discussion and possible action concerning the city of Lytle water projects. So if you want to do some opening, and then I'll just go over the stuff that we actually have, just to make sure.
Yeah, so obviously the big impetus behind this, and really didn't know how to truly phrase it, but obviously we had to issue the recent boil water notice, and we were getting a lot of pushback, I'll say, or just really people kind of questioning, why we're having to do this so often and things like that. And so we wanted to obviously offer an opportunity for people to come. I know that the mayor and even staff that got calls, but the mayor that received notices via Facebook messages, told them, hey, come on February 10th. We're going to have a meeting, to discuss it. So this is really this opportunity to do so. We did have to issue the boil water notice after a leak that was unexpected. It was a 6-inch line. And started the repair, and it kind of went south, and we unfortunately lost the pressures in our system, and so as a precaution and as required by TCEQ, we have to issue a boil water notice once we go under 20 psi. So that is what we did. Obviously, we called crews in to help with that particular leak, who we've helped or who has helped us previously, and they got it knocked out pretty quick once we were able to get everything kind of squared away on that. So, Mary, I don't know if you want to add anything else on
Yes,
that.
if it's okay,
Go
we'd
right
like to
ahead.
go ahead. And once again, our main objective of doing this is for the public to understand. We do have it being recorded too, so we can also have it out there for folks to actually be able to do that. But the main thing is we want to make sure people are aware of what's going on and what has actually occurred up to this point.
So, Mayor, before you start,
Yes.
of the number of complaints or concerns, what percentage would you say were actually in office versus social media?
I would say primarily probably social media. We did get a few calls, but most of those calls were obviously when we had to extend, past into Monday. The most of those calls were, hey, any update, when we can turn back on, that kind of stuff.
So I'd like to thank the mayor for being online. His presence is definitely an asset to the city. And I appreciate the fact that you do respond to these individuals that do either positive or negative complaints. So kudos to you for being out there on social media, because that gives our citizens a good venue to rant, perhaps.
I
Maybe
appreciate
make
it.
comments.
I appreciate it,
Thank
Mike.
you for being out there.
Well, I also want to give, and Richie, I want, if it's okay for you to provide an input too, because I know that Richie gets calls too about different things anytime that deals with the water, and also with Pete with the emergency line that we have also. So just talking to Richie, talking to Pete, we also had other ways that people, so I'll just let them
I
talk.
had maybe, of course, when I send out my email alerts on everything, my email address is on there, and I only had about 3 return comments on email. And normally it was, the email was all just basically, are we still under notice? Has it been lifted? I think people are more often on social media to get a little more wordy and rant email. They're maybe a little more or less, because I really didn't get any. Just basic, mine was just real informational requests.
Roger that. And then Pete, I know you had more, it was with a phone, right?
Yeah, not a low water pressure, no water at all.
Yeah.
Different sections of the town, so.
So I know our new marquee makes a big difference. as
Yes,
well.
yes. And the way we disseminate and everything, we try to do the best to be able to get the information out there. And that's the same thing, once again, going back to what we're actually doing. But thank you. Thank you for the
Oh, thank
kudos.
you.
But it's a team effort, all of us involved. It doesn't matter. I know Lynette was taking some phone calls. Zach was taking phone calls. You know, I know David too, helping me out too, different portions of there, just so we can, Pete and I are out there working the council, you know, the electronic portion of it and helping out with all that. So that was awesome. But in a nutshell, things that we actually have going on, just so people are all aware. Number one is we got a water line that is coming, that is going to be installed going to coal mine. That's one of the open projects that we have. We have another open project that is a 12-inch main that is going to be going right through here at City Council, going towards the other side of 35. And then we have the water tower.
Correct.
So those are the three main projects that are going to be coming. I know that we're working very closely, and whenever these come up, we'll be working closely with the contractors to make sure that we do what we need to do. Just like Pete and Zach worked very closely when we were doing the work over on 3175, came up with meetings, set everything up, make sure we had a game plan, try to minimize. We never lost the water, didn't need to go into a boil notice when we did that. So there's things, but those are some of the big things that are happening. I also want the public also to know that these guys have been very, very busy, especially Public Works, working with leaks over the last 8 months. You guys have been hitting it very, very hard. I want to point out that we have a map out here, and on there we started off, and there's 21 that we had. There was 21 that we actually had on there. You know, some of these leaks, I'm going to be straightforward and honest, and we mentioned it in here. Some of these leaks have been going on for 12, 13 years. Okay. There were bird baths, basically. Okay. So we've actually, and basically, I will say there was some misguidance that was being provided. There was questions that we were asking and we're not being told. Fast forward, you know, we can cover a little story in there, but fast forward, Pete is our Public Works Director. Here we are. They've been knocking them out. Even I noticed here recently, we even took care of those. Do we still have any of those that are up there, Pete, that we need to remove? I know we always,
No, those are all good.
those are good. I know there was one that got moved here within the last week. So we're down to, from 21, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 that are left. And Pete tells us that out of those 5, we shouldn't have any problems with having to bring down a water system to where we're going to need to do a boil notice. Some of the comments that were mentioned, we're having too many boil notices. So we did the analysis. There was a total of 6. We went back, and actually Richie helped us out right away. He gave us some dates that were out there, and then we went back and started investigating. Out of those 6, 2 of them belong to us. They truly do. You know, there was something that happened with the leak, and it was our responsibility to take care of that. Now, this is over years, okay? During that time, so that's 2 out of the 6. There was 2 that our electrical company that provides power to us, that it was on them. 1, we lost 1 phase. We lost a phase to the actual water well, and there was no notification that came down to tell us about that. And then the other one was we had a bird that actually hit one of our phases and a transformer over at the booster station and knocked it out. And it was one of their phases too that went along with that. Okay. So that's what actually happened. Now, how have we resolved some of those? We now have Zach and Pete and the guys have been working really hard. Now we have telemetry that is available to be able to monitor that as a secondary, even though that company is actually supposed to be monitoring that. And that's a discussion that we're having with them, because that's part of the responsibilities. When you identify critical infrastructure, that means that they're supposed to closely watch those circuits. So we're working on that. And then the other 2 that we had with the contractors. If you remember, we had a contractor that went over our big 2 lines over on 3175, and I never have seen our system go down. That is the lowest point of water, and we had to. We had to replace 2 12-inch. Is that right, Pete? They were both 12-inch big lines on the other side. There was no way that we could keep the system, so we ended up with that one. And then the second one that we had was, if you all remember, we came up with we started saying that we had a river walk on Lytle. Remember, we had a fiber contractor that hit one of our main, it was 18-inch, or what was it, Pete? It was an 8-inch The one right behind the automotive, the one that connects the two.
We thought it was a big one, but it was 6 or 8 inch.
It was an 8-inch.
Yeah, we
That's
thought it
right.
was bigger, but
That's
we
right.
got in there, it was not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So it was 8-inch, and that was the other one too that we actually lost because that one connects to the 2 water towers and balances them out. So that was a critical one. So I just want to make sure, go on record to be able to put stuff out there. Yes, we have had some boil notices. 4 of them were out of our control, and 2 of them, they were kind of in control, but we run into situations like this last one where, you know, the line cracks and it starts cracking even more. It goes along with that just because of the way. The biggest challenge in a sense of things that we've found so far with some of our pipes that we run is that we're not installed. It's not that the quality of the pipe is bad or anything like that. It's just that when they were installed, they were not installed appropriately. We have had numerous ones that had rocks around it, and they're supposed to have 12 inches. Is that right, Pete? 12 inches all the way around of sand and dirt. But we're talking about stuff that was installed like, 20 years ago, long time ago. All of us weren't around, and, it's just, that's what happened. The shifting and everything else just causes some of those things, and there's nothing that we just have to, hopefully don't run into that. But we do have a game plan, and like I briefed all of you, and Pete has, we now have an emergency response trailer now, so it's a lot quicker for us to be able to respond on the scene and be able to take care of some of this stuff on here. I also do want to remind, and once again, let everybody know that for the first time in 20 plus years, we are taking care of a water violation that has been open, and that is our capping of well number 3. Those of you that have been here for a long period of time, that well should have been capped a long time ago. And we had to work it hard, try to figure it out. We had to find the money to be able to do that, and we're actually in the process of taking care of that. So with the help of the council, we're actually moving along, and we're taking care of some of those things that deal with the water projects that we have. So in summary, we're still fixing some of the last leaks that we have. We got to finish capping well number 3, which was never, that's a whole different discussion, but it's being taken care of now. We got 2 water line projects that are coming up that we'll go ahead and manage, and they'll happen within the next year. And then within the next year, we also have the install of the water tower. They'll be on the other side of 35. So those are the things that we actually have. So is there any questions, any comments out of the audience or anything that we need to talk about? I just want to make sure that anything that is out there that we can provide clarification. People will always go back and look at this and make a determination.
Yeah, I just think it's important that we remember that these are growing pains, especially when we're talking about the fiber. The fiber has been such a great improvement to the city. And unfortunately, there was an incident that occurred, but that's the price you pay when the city grows so much. And then you have old infrastructure as we have when it comes to our water system. So a lot of this can be pretty much explainable and accepted or acceptable.
But I just want to make sure, and I appreciate that. It's critical for people to understand. And we're standing by. If anybody's watching, we're standing by. If you need further clarification or anything, please let us know. But I wanted to use the venue here so the whole council could be able to hear it. It was not just talking to me or to Zach, that you all would also be able to do that. All right? So that one, we don't need to take any kind of, can I get a motion? Because we did put possible action. So can I go ahead and get a motion for no action taken?
Yeah, I move that we take no action on this item.
Okay, got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Got a second? Okay. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, all yeas. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to B, discussion and update regarding Union Pacific's maintenance and operations of railroad crossing in the city of Lytle. This is another one that we wanted to go ahead and put it out here in case anybody, we didn't have anybody sign up for comments, right? So this is an opportunity for those that had a question about what was going on. A lot of it was more within the coal mine side of the house. We totally understand it. So I wanted to make sure that we had an idea. We did start very rough, without a doubt. And I think with Brian's help, with Samantha's help, with Richie's help, we try to do as best as we can. I will say that probably, I know Lynette called me a few times. The city hall staff was doing a great job trying to tell some of the folks because that crossing should have been done by 2 o'clock and folks needed to get out. So after discussion with Union Pacific, in front of you, you should have a sample letter. That is a letter that is going to be mailed out tomorrow. That is going to go to every resident. And Lynette, thank you for getting me the information. So that letter is going to go to every resident describing what actually occurred and why it occurred and their apologies, basically, for that. I mentioned to the folks to just hang tight on the 3rd of March. They're all going to be invited to go over to the high school, junior high for an announcement. And during that time, they'll find out about secondary entrance that it will be available for emergency purposes to be able to help us out with situations like this. So I think it's going to be great, but we can't get any more into that. Along with that, we've been working very closely with some of the folks over there just to make sure that we address anything that needs to be taken care of within coal mine. I will tell you, some folks feel like they're left out, but I think the city is doing the best that they can to be able to be proactive and do everything. I mean, we took the time to be able to come up with a plan. I think Richie and we were talking on a Sunday, and we were coming up with a plan so we could actually make sure that they were taken care of about a week and a half ahead of time. So we try to do the best that we can to go ahead and take care of them. That goes along with that. So have a meeting that is kind of come up with Union Pacific. We're still going to talk about when a train actually stalls out and the procedures, just because last year it happened and they were supposed to identify some sort of procedure, and they're still working on it. So we're going to have a follow-up meeting so we can actually take care of that as best as possible. So coal mine, I think right now we're doing a good job in a sense of just being able to get the information out and let everybody know what's going on. I know it didn't work out the way it was supposed to work out, but that's beyond our control. And I will tell you that the people that we talked to a week and a half before the project were not the same people that showed up the day of the project. So that doesn't help in a sense of coordination, and that's internal to them. So that's all part of the discussion. The rest of the crossings that we actually had went right on target. I think we only had one that went past an hour, but all the rest of them were either done beforehand or right on time. And Richie, thank you for helping me out, getting all that information out, but I think everybody was informed. It worked out very positively for the school with the actual bus schedule and everything else that needed to be done. I want to say kudos to Union Pacific because they did wait until 9 o'clock before they started closing the intersections, and that allowed all of our employees and staff and buses to get going in the morning without any kind of disruption. It was more just at the very end of the day that they had to go through a different route or something along those lines. So there's more to be done in a sense of discussions with that, but I wanted to make sure that the council knew what actually occurred and what were some of the discussions and the things that happened on that. Any questions? Oh, I do have one other thing. By the way, this usually only happens every 10 to 12 years. There'll be a while. It'll be a while before this happens. But if there is a crossing or something like that, there's going to be a few different approaches that we're going to take just to make sure. So in case you hear about it or somebody approaches you have an idea. Okay. I don't think we need, this one was just a discussion update, so no action on that one. Once again, anything at all? Nope. Okay. Thank you for your time. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to D, and this is consideration and possible action concerning resolution number 25-08, a resolution of City Council of the City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of an agreement by and between the City of Lytle, Texas, and the Lytle Volunteer Fire Department for volunteer protection services, providing for incorporation of preamble, authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement, and providing an effective date.
Mayor and council, I apologize, but this one slipped through my my timeline, and so I know it's a little delayed of normally when y'all would see it. There is no change to the existing contract other than the dates, making sure it's actually good for the current year that we're in. So but no change to cost or anything like that for this particular contract. So just a renewal.
Council?
Yeah, Mayor, I move that we approve resolution number 2508 as presented in the agenda item with the effective date of today, February 10th, 2025.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
Got a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I know we appreciate everything that the fire department does for us, taking care of our community and surrounding communities, because they also do respond to some mutual aid situations too, along with that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to E, consideration and possible action concerning resolution number 25-09, a resolution of City Council, City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of an agreement by and between the City of Lytle, Texas and Dunway Associates LLC for on-call engineering services, providing for incorporation of preamble and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement and providing an effective date.
All right, so Mayor and Council, if you recall at the previous City Council meeting, we awarded to 4 engineering firms for the engineering services RFQ that was submitted out. And so I've been working with those 4 individual contractors or firms. And so 2 of them are on for your approval tonight for the master service agreement. This would just be the general agreement that would cover the services provided by them. And then ultimately for individual projects, those will come back before y'all, just like we have them previously with task orders that would be approved on an individual basis. But this just kind of covers overarching the agreement with this group. This one is for Dunaway, and then the next item will be for Cobb Finley. So.
Yeah, I'd make a motion that we approve resolution number 25-09 as worded in the agenda item with today's date effective February 10th, 2025.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
Okay, got a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries forward. Thank you so much. NF, consideration and possible action concerning resolution number 25-10, a resolution of City Council, City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of an agreement by and between the City of Lytle, Texas, Cobb Finley Associates for on-call engineering services, providing for incorporation of preamble, authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement and providing an effective date.
The only thing I'll add for this is that Todd is here with Cobb Finley as the local representative for us. So just wanted to introduce him since he did take his time.
Would you like to say a few words, sir?
Mayor Council, so Todd Smangham.
Come on up.
I'll make it real quick. So Todd Smangham with Cobb Finley. I'm the San Antonio office manager, also the project manager that was submitted in the RFQ, SOQ. And I just appreciate the opportunity to be here and to work with y'all in the future.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you for being
Thank you.
here. Appreciate that. Okay.
Mayor, I'd make a motion that we approve resolution 25-10 as set out in the agenda item with today's effective date, February 10th, 2025.
Got a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second that, Mayor.
Got a second? Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yays. Okay. Todd, thank you for being here. Appreciate it, sir. We look forward as our relationship with opportunities. I think it's a great idea that we incorporate other engineering firms just so we can have a little bit of a group of engineers that we can work on depending on their expertise and their background. So we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and move on to G. And this is consideration and possible action concerning ordinance 25-04, an ordinance of the City of Lytle, ordinance of City Council of the City of Lytle, Texas, ordering a general municipal elections to be held on May the 3rd, 2025, authorizing the mayor to enter into a joint election agreement with Atascosa County to conduct a general municipal election on behalf of the City of Lytle, designating the places and the manner of holding of election, providing for the posting and publication of notice, and providing a savings clause, and providing an open meeting clause, and providing an effective date.
All right, so Mayor and Council, this is the ordinance to go ahead and call the election. This is for districts 1, 2, and 3. And also this would include the contract approval with Atascosa County. The one thing I would like to note is that based on what we had in the budget, what Atascosa County came back with to hold the election on our behalf is a little over 11,000 outside of what is the budget. So if we do end up canceling, then we won't have to pay a single dime, which is great. But if we do have to hold the election for any of the positions, then ultimately we will be on the hook for an additional 11,000 outside of the budget number. We feel like we have that money covered. It's just a matter of, if needed, we would need to also make that a budget amendment, and then we'll bring forth a budget amendment specific to that at a later date. So, but did want to make sure y'all are aware of it.
Can you provide any information about why our estimate was so far off?
No, I mean, I think the quote was provided in there as far as what they are charging. I will say that last election, we did go with Medina County, just to be fully transparent with council. Medina County came back to us and said that unfortunately with some changes they've been doing and things going on, some staff, they just really can't do that this year. So that's why it kind of pushed us to Atascosa County. So, I mean, you see the election there. I will say that I've had some conversation with Lido ISD, who also typically does their stuff with us as well and kind of jumps on the same thing. There may be some room within this contract to lessen the amount of machines because we don't get a lot of people normally over there. So this number could go down if we have to hold the election, but that would be the max that it would be. So
With that in mind, just for the council, do we have anybody contested right now?
currently, no.
No. Okay. So right now where we actually sit.
So Friday, right?
Friday is the last day, yes.
Till Friday. So right now as it stands. So and we have 2 submissions so far, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So we got one more for consideration and we'll be able to tell. But for right now, we need a plan, just like if it was going to happen, and we need to go ahead and give the approval for Zach to go ahead and do what he needs to do.
So clarification.
Yeah.
In the statement, it says into a joint election agreement. So Atascosa will not be holding their own on May the 3rd. This would be solely the city of Lido.
It'd be City of Lido, yeah.
Okay, and there's no penalty for canceling it.
No, there's no penalty for canceling it. We won't owe anything if we cancel in enough time. So
Yeah.
obviously, if Friday comes and we don't have or need to have an election, we'll be letting them know so we have enough time to cancel that. And then actually on the next agenda, there'll be if that happens, we would actually have a resolution canceling the election. At that time.
So by paying that monies, Atascosa would be staffing.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
sounds good.
Okay.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. This is to approve.
Mhm.
To approve ordinance 25-04, an ordinance of the city council of the city of Lido, Texas, offering a general municipal elections to be held on May 3rd, 2025, authorizing the mayor to enter into a joint election agreement with Atascosa County to conduct the general municipal election on behalf of the city of Lido, designating the places and manner of holding the election, providing the posting and publication of notice, providing savings clause, and providing an open meetings clause, and providing an effective date today of February the 10th, 2025.
Got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, second. Okay. Any further discussion? No? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All yeas, motion carries forward. All right, council, that takes care of our action items that we had as part of the open session. We'll now go ahead and move into the department reports. So if we can go ahead and have Cassandra, library, get a chance to hear. And Todd, you're welcome to stay, or if you need to go, don't worry. We appreciate you being here. Okay?
I'm going to stick it out.
Roger that, sir. We appreciate it. All right.
Okay, so our computer usage for the month of, January was 83 for the adults and 57 for the kids. And we had 1,351 items checked out. The e-reader user is actually gone up a little bit. We're at 11 and we're getting more people interested in it. So we had 29 loans. There was 8 new accounts and 28 renewals, and then April made 11 library cards. We're still doing story time, and our crochet group, we've got more people interested in the crochet group. They didn't meet for the 3 months because of the holiday, but I think they're going to meet this next week.
How many people do you normally average on that?
About 5 or 6.
Okay.
So we're getting more people. So in February, we're supposed crochet group is what's coming up. And then I had an Atascosa County meeting at the beginning. It was the first county meeting of the year in Jordanton. And then still working on this. And we still offer the curbside because we do have some people who have little ones and it's hard, so they just want to pick up their books and go. And there's a library calendar for January. And that first one was soup month, and then Martin Luther King, and then the bottom was Elvis. It was Elvis's birthday. And then we had sort of a winter theme going with all the blue books. I'll do that, periodically throughout the year. I'll pick out all the blue books, all the red books, all the pink books, and
Depending on the
and it just depends on
weather.
when it falls. So since it was winter, we did blue. And then that one, I'm trying to remember what that one. Oh, the top one and the bottom one, on the top left and the bottom one, those are hobby books. So it's different for the hobby month. And then the top right one is tea. And that was it. Did anybody
anything
have any questions?
upcoming or
No, not that I can think of.
okay.
No, we're still working on summer reading program and stuff like that. But
Okey-dokey. Yeah, I know we got into the spring, so it starts getting interesting.
yes,
So,
yes, I got to get everything ready for that.
yeah, well, let us know
Okay.
anything that Richie and I can help you
Yeah, right now.
push
it's-
out. We'll do that. Council.
How are the entry and exit driveways? They got
They-
them all fixed up?
Okay, so they did the exit, but they haven't told me when they're going to do the entrance. And I asked this, and he goes, I don't know. So I have to wait for the job foreman to come and tell me, oh, hey, we're going to close this right now. So, but the exit, it was a little bit of an issue with some people because they weren't paying attention and they drove right through the barricade, of course. They drove through the little cones first, and then they tried to go. I'm like, hello, you can't go that way. There's a barricade. And the car realized it, and so she put her brakes on, had to turn around.
Because the one they finished, is it?
It's
right?
done. It's done. It's nice. It's got a little bit of a dip, but it's okay. I guess because the water flow,
Yes, they
Right.
need to have the water flow.
Yeah,
That's
so-
correct.
it looks good. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you for what you do over there. Keep hearing some good comments from folks. Appreciate that. Okay, Pete, here we go. Public Works. Taking care of stuff. Taking care of stuff. That's
Woohoo.
good.
Big Arrow. We had 64 work orders for the month of January. I don't know if there says no main breaks, but we had that one big one on 681.
Mm-hmm.
And that should have been on there, and I guess they forgot to put it on there.
Well, this would have been, no, because this would have been,
That was in January.
oh, yeah, it would have been.
It was in
I'm sorry.
January.
Yeah, I was thinking, just with all the stuff that we had.
We
That
didn't
week?
replace no angle stops, no service lines, just a couple of little washers we had to repair. No
Okay, we
gas
got to
leak.
fix the gas meter.
The gas leak.
We got to fix that.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to take care of that.
We had 17 customer requests on the rereads, and 12 was the city. I guess the girls at the office. No sewer main clog ups for the city side, but we had 2 customer sides for the month. And we had 6 finals on H2O and 3 new H2O meters to install, and no cutoff list, and 17 miscellaneous work orders. And those are the water leaks that are still out there, except the one in Park
We
Place.
got to take care of that one.
The one in Park Place, it's dry. I went out there today and there's no water. The whole ground's hard. It just comes and goes. And then we got to add the one in Coal Mine. There's the one by the park. It's got to be on
We
there.
got to put it over here too. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
you
I put
have
it on there. Yeah,
You
it's
have
on
it on
there.
there. I think we need to match that to what's over here.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all current up there except that Park Place.
Okay.
And we got to add Coal Mine to it. And those are the total work orders. And then the Edwards Aquifer, we still haven't got an update on their thing for January.
Okay.
That's not untypical.
Yeah.
Just takes a while. Okay. Oh, go
Yeah.
back. There we go. Okay, so.
And that's it.
Okay, and we're just waiting
Just
for,
'cause we don't have the numbers.
Yeah, we don't have the numbers on the Aquifer.
just so we can kind of match up. I know it's early on, but we can go ahead and.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll add to his report is Austin and him did give me the checklist. So we
Oh, yeah,
do have those in our possession. I've been reviewing them, and then I'm actually going to be sending them off to somebody else to just take a look at them as well. You know, some outside help that we have, and just make sure we're baselining correctly. You know what we need to be done at all of our facilities. So did want to relay that. And I thank Pete and Austin for getting those to me and working on that in the last month and a half. So
Okay, so next month?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we're still working on things that.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's just get in front of council so they
Yeah.
kind of have an idea. And it covers everything, right?
it
With
does, yes.
all the way
Yeah.
Yes.
So will they be included in the presentation or are you
Yeah, we'll
gonna
put them in
just
the
discuss them?
We'll put them in the presentation. Yeah, thank you.
That'd be good. Thanks, Pete. And I do want to say a little special thanks, even though I'll cover a little bit, but it just reminded me, you mentioned Austin. I know just covering down, there was a few folks that were sick over a period of time, and Pete just kept taking care of business during that whole time. So we appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, Richie,
7:20, wow.
doing good. We're doing
So I retooled this a little bit, just bringing things in, trying to close it down a little bit, make it a little simpler. But anyway, January, 206 calls for service. Accidents, only 4 on public roadway, 7 on private property. Alarms, again, almost nothing really. We saw that start to move up years ago, and now it's gone down. Business checks and building checks. Traffic data 202. Kind of goes through there. Looks like motor vehicle registrations, number 1, then driver's license, speeding. We did a little chart here too to kind of,
Wow.
because Michael Rodriguez
You
likes
had
pie
somebody
chart.
happy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's
That's why I
happy.
did that. I didn't want
Yeah.
Lynette to one up me
Mike
on the
likes
pie
pie
chart.
charts.
I mean, I'm going to eventually find a way. The whole thing's going to be a pie chart.
I did
No.
have a question on that.
I started it, then Danny helped me finish it. Yes, sir.
I did have a question on
Go
that. On those, the registration,
Yes.
were those specifically registration stops or did they result from other parts?
Majority of those are going to be registration stops because you can visually, you'll visually see the registration expired. Most likely, the majority of them,
Because your sampling size was 206, I think, 202. So, yeah, that's a pretty good percentage.
Back when we had inspection, back when there were 2 different stickers, those were over like in the 50, 60% some months.
Wow.
Yeah, with the 2 different stickers. Yeah, so it has to do with like when they go from like an 8 to a 9, it's not as easy. The numbers, sometimes it's harder to visualize. Like 1 to 7s or sometimes, it just. So anyway,
And
it's.
remember, they also give a grace period in there too.
Well, so we normally
How's that work?
don't issue citations till they've been out at least 30 days, So I mean, we're not, so those are ones. And
You're
again,
not suggesting anything, you're just stating facts.
yes, I'm not suggesting, I'm not suggesting you let it go an extra 30 days.
Nice
Good
crowd.
point.
Yeah.
But if they do,
Well, they can still get stopped and reminded.
no, and that's what we'll do. Yeah, those would end up being warnings. That's where when you get your weekly reports, it's got a number of warnings. A lot of those are warnings if it's been out a while, or officers. What they do with these citations is when they stop someone, it's purely is 100%, 99% officer discretion. So it's up to them if they give warning citations. But so let's say you got somebody that rolls a stop sign and you're stopping for running the stop sign. They may have a registration out too. If the stop sign wasn't real blatant, what they call a California stop, you might just give them a warning on that and cite them for the other. The registration. Just it's a variety of. It's just what the officers do. It's kind of their discretion, and then we just kind of go from there. Let me see here. But anyway, so I got that, and it's kind of neat to look at that. We'll work on it. I started it, couldn't figure it out, and then Danny figured out how to make it complete like that. So we'll try to expand on that with some other activities as we go on, because I've always liked that too, because it just makes it easier for me to kind of get an idea of what's happening. I'm kind of, simple like that, or whatever you want to call it. Adult arrest, you know what I do realize? This is not, I can read them, but it's not as big as it was, but we'll see. So, we had pretty much the same old thing. Warrants, drug paraphernalia, warrant service, drugs, evading arrest on foot, warrants. That guy had a whole bunch of warrants there. Drug paraphernalia, assault, bodily injury, family violence, DWI, criminal mischief, DWI, drug paraphernalia. Thefts, again, if you notice, it's kind of very odd. Not a whole lot of thefts in the whole month. We had 3 real thefts reported. Stripes, a package, that was a package, a porch pirate over in another one, Rosewood. I'm trying to learn all these street names. So no burglaries, no financial fraud. Now, I will tell you, we actually have more officers on the road now than we've ever had. So even with one officer being short. So, I think we're able to, our higher presence, more patrol miles, more out on the road, is paying off for us. Yeah, I think it's because that's what crooks are going to go to a town where they don't think they're going to run into a lot of cops. That's just kind of, if I was a crook, that's what I'd do. Keep that in mind. So if I move to a town with no cops one day, well, watch me. Anyway, special events. We had David Lopez did a full taser course for 3 officers. Mendez, Garcia, and Reyes to kind of get them certified and / recertified. Last East Safety Security meeting, department head meeting. We had a music festival meeting. That'll be here next month. Officer Diaz went to a career day at the primary. Officer Lopez read a book at the primary. And had a couple officers in a peer network class at Castle Hills PD. That was Lopez and Mendez. And then on the 28th, Matt and David and I went to Hondo for a TML human resources class at that regional training center, which I'd actually never been to. It was pretty nice. And then fire marshal stuff, we did an inspection at Injected Aesthetics. That's a Botox place. And then Matt did a phone conference on Project Cinco. We're not capturing everything we do because we get a lot of phone calls throughout the month and different projects, but I've got to find a way to, a lot of that drops through because we handle it, pretty quickly. So we're trying to keep, but anyway, that was that. Criminal cases, 4 people, 5 charges in Atascosa at the county attorney's office, 5 people, 5 charges, Atascosa district attorney's office, nothing over in Medina last month, and nothing in Bexar County. Our 28-day work period ended January 21st. We had 8.5 hours overtime. That's a 28-day period. Had 140 hours vacation taken, 36 hours of sick leave, and 59 hours of personal leave. So, the only other thing I can update you on is our hiring process. We have 2 applicants that are going through the process now. We should be sending 1 applicant to physical and drug screen, hopefully next week. And so we're going to be pretty much on time. I do have to get with Mr. Meadows and make sure our grant situation is good to go, because that's a position I've got to fill first. So, and then we'll fill the other position. That gentleman had a little something come up, and so he needed a couple more weeks to work on something. So we're gonna. But anyway, we're very very comfortable with the situation we are right now. Questions?
Very nice presentation. I like the graph and the transparent water.
Well, you're going to see more next month.
Nice.
Go back a slide.
Uh-oh.
I like that patch.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Don't tell him that guy's gonna go get one made.
No, I got a bunch of those made. I had those about 15. I had those like 15 years ago, man. I still got a bunch.
That's a good patch. I like that.
He's got those in a box.
CID.
I got none. Yeah, you see it, we have it. I got a whole bunch of them. Anyway,
So
I
we
paid
could-
for
we
myself.
could
Well,
have
my
our own-
grandmother actually bought me a lot of
You
them.
have
She
our own
passed away.
version of cops. You know, they follow you around.
Well, yeah, they follow me around. I'm not very fun and exciting though. There you have it.
You know, we got our drone and everything.
So it actually came in today and they unpacked it. And we've got set up for them to come down, help us get it registered.
We'll work with the vendor to come down to do
They have to,
training with us.
and they do
a.
a,
And DPI care, we're working with Mr. Reynolds and the policy. So we hope,
Matt actually is our first, he actually is our first guy who passed his,
a Part 107.
yeah.
Fully licensed.
So he's really a bona fide drone pilot.
If they do a demo for you guys, please invite us. It would be nice to be able to see that.
Oh, yeah, we'd love to.
It'll be during the day more than likely, but we can schedule something at night where we can show you.
No,
what
I'm
the
just,
drone can do with the thermal.
if you happen to
Oh,
have a
that-
demo.
Yes, sir.
No, we'll get you invited. We love the more the merrier. You're always welcome. Come by the PD. I mean, we're a lot of fun to be around.
Very much.
There you
If
go.
David's
Better
working,
than
we have
Disneyland?
good lunch if David's working.
Oh,
If David's
good.
not working, then sometimes we, get a big thing of nuggets from McDonald's.
Man,
Anything else?
going all out. Anything else, council? Okay, thank you, Richie. Appreciate that. Okay, council, I would like to go ahead and shift one other thing before we go into executive session, because I know some folks could probably be able to take off. So can I get a motion for us to go ahead and cover item number 12, informational items?
Yeah, I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Okay, a motion, do I have
I'll
a
second
second?
that, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. We'll just go ahead and take care of that, and then we'll come back. So, informational items, I'll just go around real quick, see if anybody needs to share anything. I'll come back and finish up. We'll go around the room. Anything? Okay. So first of all, I want to say thanks to Animal Control for managing the department, especially during this time. I know they've been working really hard just to be able to take care of the folks based on what they have with their manning. I want to say thanks to Public Works for the boil water days. Pete, you guys knocked it out of park. I know we found out something in that Saturday, but hey, we actually going to be able to take care of stuff that we need to do with the right time and getting those lab hours so we can go ahead and make sure that we take care of that. Thanks to Richie and PD with the assistance with not only the train, we also had that gas that, where they released the odorant, and there was a different one, and we had multiple places that had that. Nothing in the sense of a danger. It was just a different odorant, but it was more in the residential and the public areas. It wasn't, or in the private areas, not in the public areas. It took care of that. And then also with the water issues. So notifications and then checking with people. I want to appreciate the City Hall staff with dealing with our residents. You guys handled a lot of different calls. I appreciate all your help with different aspects. We had a very busy week with, the trains, the gas, and the water during that time. So thank you for your help. I do want to say a special thanks. I wanted to pass it on to the PD for Officer Ryan. I caught him, a very, very humble guy, but I caught him changing the tire on helping a resident out. So that's pretty cool when you see, they don't need to, but they were out there helping somebody change a tire on their vehicle. So just wanted to point him out. Thanks on that. Reaffirm the election submissions by this Friday. So anybody who's thinking about running on that one, please, on that one. 22nd and 23rd of March Music Festival. There's a lot of stuff coming along, things getting lined up, so it's going to pick up very fast. I can tell you if it's anything close to what happened this weekend with the car show, be prepared. We will have a large turnout for that afternoon on that Saturday before the main music fest. Do want to go get some kudos to Mr. Ulcer and Lori also over there, Magura, with what they submitted. We have some high schoolers that they're competing at the state with documentaries and animation. So it's pretty cool. Our school going up, and they have 3 different things that are going to be competing in the state level. That means they're in the top 6 of the whole state already competing on that. So they've made it past the first round, the semifinals, and then the state. So there's a lot of excitement. I think it's on the 26th of February when they'll be going up to Austin, and they'll find out in a sense of how they
Mayor,
do.
would you care to tell us the subject of one of those
Nope,
documentaries?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I'll just leave it alone. But we're going to talk about the kids. It's all about the kids. Powerlifting is doing really good, taking care of business. And as we speak right now, they're tipping off. Boys basketball is playing their last season game. This is a senior night for them. And more likely, they'll be cutting the net as district champs. I don't know how the other city did, but we're either district champs or co-champs just because of that. So I think both teams only had one loss. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. And the last thing I have before we take off is we got on the 11th, we got somebody's birthday. And he's our director. So one of the traditions, for those of you who haven't been here, we always sing happy birthday. It's Pete. Birthday tomorrow. So he gets a zebra cake that goes along with that. So here we go. And 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pete. Happy birthday to
Make a
you.
wish. There you go.
Hey,
All right. On the break, I'll give you the other zebra cake.
yeah, no more water leaks.
Yeah,
Yay.
well,
You can't leave them.
Richie can't have the zebra cake anymore, so now he's giving out. All right, any last minute information, stuff to be shared? Okay, with that in mind, it is 7:30, so let me go ahead and read the executive session. We still have time. There's going to be item number 10, executive session. The City Council, City of Lidle may reconvene an executive session in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, Section 551.072, real property, Section 551.074, personal matters, to discuss and consider the following items. A, employment, evaluation, and reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, animal care and control director. B is a discussion concerning the purchase of real property by the City of Lidle. C, the discussion concerning activities of EMC strategies for the City of Lidle. D is update on discussions with Lidle State Bank on investments held at bank. And E, discussions concerning the pending litigation and civil citation filed with Atascosa County District Court. So Paula, if you can go ahead and show us, it is 7:33 p.m. and we will be going into executive session in the back. So Austin, if you can actually join us back there.
seconds and say something if you don't.
All right, you're on there.
All right. All right, Zach, thank you so much. Paula, if you can show us, it is 08:33. Wow, exactly an hour. It's exactly an hour. Show us back on here, no action taken. Council, let's go ahead and move on into item number 11, discussion and possible action regarding matters discussed in executive session. So we'll go ahead and start with A on that one. That was the employment evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, and dismissal of a public officer or employees, animal care and control director.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the city administrator to take appropriate action regarding current director of animal care and control department.
Got a motion for us to go ahead.
I'll second that.
Okay. Got a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, all yeas. Zach, you know what we need to do. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and go into B, and this is going to be a discussion concerning the purchase of real property by the city of Lytle.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion on that item. I move that we direct the city administrator to proceed with the purchase of the real property mentioned in the executive session.
Okay, got a motion on the floor.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Got a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. Okay. I think those are going to be the only two items that we're taking action. So we'll just make a note on that. Just item A and item B. All right, council. I think that pretty much takes care of what we needed to do tonight. Austin, thank you so much for your help being able to guide us. Take care of this. I show right now it is 8:34. Can I get a motion for us to
Mayor,
adjourn?
I move that we adjourn for tonight.
Motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second that.
Second? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you so much. Got it done with everything. 8:34.